Mientras Barack Obama disertaba en La Habana sobre las virtudes de la democracia estadounidense, el preso político Leonard Peltier seguía aislado en su celda de Pensilvania, casi ciego y muy enfermo, esperando la muerte. Leonard Peltier, poeta y dirigente del American Indian Movement, lleva 40 años de prisión. Recordemos, en los años 70, el régimen norteamericano descargaba su violencia represiva contra quienes se oponían a la guerra de Vietnam, también contra los movimientos negros y el de las poblaciones originarias, despojadas de sus tierras y encerradas en las llamadas reservaciones. Peltier fue condenado a 2 cadenas perpetuas en un proceso amañado repleto de trampas y falsos testimonios, endosándosele la muerte de 2 agentes del FBI. El incidente ocurrió en 1975 en la reserva Sioux de Pine Ridge, en aquel territorio de Dakota del Sur donde se había encontrado uranio y carbón. Murieron asesinados más de 250 indígenas a manos de paramilitares y agentes del FBI, en una masacre que hoy sigue impune. ¿Quiénes fueron juzgados por el contrario? Los indígenas que practicaron la autodefensa. Nelson Mandela propuso infructuosamente al entonces presidente Bill Clinton su liberación, y Robert Redford produjo un documental sobre Leonard Peltier, que no pudo ser distribuido en la red comercial de cines de Estados Unidos. Pero el caso de este preso político, o el del puertorriqueño Oscar López Rivera, o el de Mumia Abu Jamal, no interesan a la gran prensa, la misma que, por cierto, nos repite sin cesar que donde sí hay presos políticos es en Venezuela o en Cuba, tan vergonzoso, cínico e inmoral como cierto.
I am everyone who ever died without a voice, or a prayer, or a hope, or a chance.
Leonard Peltier is a Native American activist who has been in prison for more than 46 years, serving 2 consecutive life terms for a crime he maintains he did not commit. In 1977, he was convicted of killing 2 FBI agents, Ronald Williams and Jack Kohler, during a shootout on the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. Peltier was a member of the American Indian Movement, AIM, founded in 1968 during the Civil Rights Movement to advocate for the rights of Native Americans. The murders occurred at a time when AIM supporters and residents of Pine Ridge were being intimidated and killed, allegedly by paramilitaries connected to the government. A climate of fear and terror prevailed. After 2 AIM members were acquitted of the killings, the FBI coerced witnesses into saying they saw Peltier shoot the agents. Ballistics evidence that could have aided Leonard's defense was hidden from his lawyers.
The only thing I'm guilty of is struggling for my people. I didn't kill those agents.
It was not a fair trial, the conclusion reached by federal appeals judge Gerald Heaney, who stated, the prosecution withheld evidence favorable to the defendant, and the FBI used improper tactics in extraditing Peltier and otherwise in investigating and trying Peltier's case. Amnesty International is calling on President Biden to grant Leonard Peltier clemency before it's too late. President Biden has a chance to rectify a case that has troubled many people for decades.
Leonard Peltier has been in prison for almost 50 years because he was convicted for murdering 2 FBI agents in a shootout on Pine Ridge Reservation in 1975. This reservation happened to be a site where the FBI itself was intentionally fueling tensions between different tribes there because it was part of a grander secret plan by the FBI to infiltrate and destroy a group called AIM, which stands for the American Indian Movement. Part of its strategy was to get different tribes to fight with each other. And in the end, they wanted to disrupt AIM. 2 FBI agents went onto this reservation one day, and a shootout started with some Native Americans on the reservation. The 2 FBI agents ended up getting killed. Another Native man who was there got killed. But you don't hear about him very much because the FBI and the government are very focused on the FBI agents. The government launched a manhunt. They put Leonard Peltier in prison with no evidence that he had committed a crime, and they hid evidence, and they lied, and they threatened witnesses. to lie. So fast forward through the decades, he stayed in prison. Multiple presidents heard appeals from people to please release Leonard Peltier. The only reason he hasn't been released is because of the FBI. They decided a long time ago they never wanted him to be released because he represents to them the fall guy for them losing 2 agents. And there are grieving families for those 2 agents. So multiple presidents over the years have, even Democratic presidents who have suggested they might release Leonard Peltier, in the end did not. Most notably, President Clinton appeared to be on the edge of doing it until dozens of FBI agents showed up outside the White House and held a protest, which is extremely unusual, and said, don't release Leonard Peltier. And then at the last minute, he did not do it. Leonard Peltier over the years has kind of become a symbol of Native Americans in general, of all the injustices that have faced Native Americans and tribes in this country. And he's come to embody something so much bigger than himself for many, many people around the country. For 4 years during Biden's presidency, he was under a lot of pressure from Democratic lawmakers, and that includes U.S. senators and members of Congress, from tribal leaders, from Native rights groups, from celebrities. People have been urging Biden to please free Leonard Peltier before he dies in prison, because Leonard is now 80 years old. He's blind in one eye. He uses a walker to get around. He has diabetes. He has an aortic aneurysm. Biden in 4 years said nothing. And then on his last day as president, literally minutes before his presidency was over, as Donald Trump was being sworn in as president, Biden issued a statement saying that he was commuting Leonard Peltier's sentence and essentially freeing him from prison and letting him spend the last days of his life in home confinement, but back home with family and loved ones around him.
Hey,